Everyone talks about how they hate social media. Like, I hate social media, but I know you got to do it. And that's the other thing everyone says. Everyone goes, oh, I hate social media, but you got to do it. You don't got to, but you got to, right? Like, social media is like, the toxic guy in a small town, right? Like, you ever been to a small town and they got that guy that nobody likes, but like, you can't tell him off because everyone will think you're the prick. You can't not let Jason come to Thanksgiving. Yes, he pisses on everyone's feet at the bar, but it's Jason. It's what he does. That's social media. So I'm talking about Psychopolitics by philosopher. The book's called Psychopolitics and New Technologies of Power by philosopher Byung-Chul Han. It takes what Michael Foucault talks about in Discipline and Punish and like brings it into the modern age. Like, the idea is that like Foucault talks about technologies of power, where there was a time when like we were controlled by force, like police and stuff like that, and things, of that nature, of those things, right? Like, if you didn't do something, you could go to jail, or if you didn't perform a certain way, you would fail a test, that kind of stuff. Then we moved into society's technologies of control. And this is where the panopticon theory came, where it's like the idea of a prison where the prisoners don't know they're being watched, so they assume they're being watched all the time. It was surveillance capital, like that idea that your Apple Watch is taking all your information, or your phone's recording everything. It's always got you, right? And excuse me, to me that was like the end. Like, I thought that's where we're at, and I've always gone with that. Like, oh my God, they're coming for me. Right? The chemtrails. They put stuff in the spaghetti. They're tracking me, right? Like a polar bear. They tag us and put radios on our collars. That's what I thought we were in, and that's what's like, But according to Byung-Chul Han and Psychopolitics, we're in a new stage. We're in a new step, called Psychopolitics, the technologies of psychopolitics. Basically, the idea is now, because of social media, we have become the exploited and the exploiter. Right? We're all brands. So we control ourselves through the process of trying to sell our brand. Essentially, it's kind of reductive the way I explain it, but that's essentially it. Like, the idea, it feels like freedom, but if you don't do certain things, you're not going to get into the algorithm, right? It's not going to get picked up, and if you don't get picked up, you really don't have any value. Like, even like my job is obvious, right? Like, comedians and entertainers need social media, but like, even like your average boo needs social media now, needs some level of a presence, hopefully not bad, right? Like, a good one. And so, and even in that, right? Like, you hear stories of kids coming out of school terrified to have opinions, terrified to say anything, terrified to give ideas, because they've grown up in a world where they've been, those things can blow up in your face. It could ruin your brand. And this is what Psychopolitics talks about. This is the technologies of psychopolitics, that there no longer needs. We no longer need a discipline or a control, a surveillance to control us. We are officially controlling ourselves, right? It kind of ties into Mark Fisher's capitalist realism. But I digress. I've always wanted to say that and like just casually, like just slip in. But I digress, right? Just fucking. I need like a brandy, like a sifter of brandy when I do it. But I digress. Yeah. So we control ourselves through algorithms because we are not just consumers, but we are brands. And like, I've noticed this. Quite a bit especially this year. After this year, I read this book this year, and I saw it before, but I really notice it now. Like it's really been ramped up. But the spilling in of social media into reality, like there's an uncanny valley about it. Like when I work stand-up comedy, and I see a lot of younger comics, or a lot of newer comics who are. And it's not to knock them. I get what they have to do it. It is part of the job, but they are algorithm chasing. Like they're not even playing to the audience anymore. They're playing to the algorithm because the audience plays to the algorithm. And it just gives this uncanny valley vibe to it. Like it's not real. Right, like I see a lot of things in the real world that's just like it'll throw me. It'll just throw me, right? And the major one I see is like art and performance, right? Or you see like an influencer, but that's kind of obvious. Sometimes it's body types, right? Sometimes I'll see like someone who's just you look at it and you're like, oh, that's an Instagram person. It's a body type you would only see or is very, very common on social media. And it only looks appropriate on social media. Not to knock the people in their bodies or body shame them by any means, but that's what you see, right? Like, have you ever seen a BBL? Like I'm in real life. Like I'm from a place where I don't see BBLs. I mean, there are BBLs here, but according to the federal BBL commission, they need to disperse the BBLs accordingly. Like they have to be put in. You can't just have a concentration of BBLs in Thunder Bay. It'll ruin the ecosystem. But like no, in Hamilton, there's BBLs, and then you see them, and you're like. It's not that I like them or hate them or anything. It just gives me this uncanny valley vibe. Like this is a person who lives online. Whether or not they do, it just has that vibe to it. That and like TERFs. I haven't seen too many TERFs in my travels to No Frills. I haven't seen a lot of TERFs, but I do. But I have seen I have seen like fit influencers. What are they called? Flimfluencers? Fit influencers, like health. Exercise what are they called? Exercise. Anyway, everyone has tattoos and they're like really jacked, but they all look kind of the same. They all look very symmetrical. They all look very much like there's a humanity not there. This sounds horrible. There is, but you know what I mean? Like you could see this uncanny valley vibe to it. Why do fitness influencers look the same? What is that? Like it's like they look the same, and they all look like they go to the same two types of gyms. The one that has like a lot of mirrors, and the other one that looks like it's in someone's garage. And they're always by that rack thing. What is that? Hitler would have a field day with the amount of like bodies and people that look the same. Like he would be like, "Oh my god, this is my jam." It has its weird eugenics vibes to all of it. Don't you find? I find it. Even the body positive movement, right? Like, I get it. I get the body positive movement. I'm from a generation where, we had two body types. We had skinny and emaciated. And if you didn't fit those, which most of us didn't, you were just shamed into silence, right? And I get it. I get like the freedom of just accepting your body for what it is. Like there's an envy to that, to be able to go out and look at it and be like, oh, look at me. I got a dad bod, right? I got it. Like you just take off your shirt and it's a dad bod. You don't care. We didn't take off our shirts. Dude, this is my swimming outfit. This, like underneath my shirt, it's just, it's decades of no sun. It's like a Vietnamese spring roll. It's a membrane just under here, right? It's very Lynchian, very scary. I never take this shit off. So I get it. I get this part of that, I understand that, like, oh, but then, I live in North America, so I fully understand what this hellhole is, and this body positivity isn't like, right? This is about winners and losers in North America capitalism, right? There's no room for self-esteem. You don't move products with self-esteem. No, man. This is all, no, this is, so anytime I see I see, a commercial with like, oh, body positivity and love your body, which again, I get. Fundamentally, loving your body, thinking you're good, having value in yourself for just being you is important. But on a cynical neoliberal level, whenever I see them talk about body positivity, I just see a group of execs being like, fatties have money now, right? That's all I see. That's it. These are the new forms of control, right? Like credit scores and housing stuff and body shaming. That's how we control ourselves. Everyone's trying to be a better version of ourselves, right? Like I'm on Fable, a reading app, and everyone's like, look how many books I read. And it's just like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? It's not their fault. It's not our fault, but it is our fault now, right? Exploiting ourselves. And that's the thing. I think I've always felt like an outsider because I've never been one of the, acceptable kinds. I've never been like the product that people want, right? I've always been an old grouchy man. And until that becomes like an aesthetic people are aiming for, I'm never, old grouchy man, right? It's just, it's an old fisherman's cap and a scowl. A constant scowl. And just, patchy beard, anger. I mean, I'd be a golden god, though. If that ever became a trend. Old grouchy man, I'd be, I'd be up there. The idea of exploiter and exploited makes sense to me as an artist. Like I wrote a play. I created a solo show called Object of Strangeness, which was about that, like coming out of lockdowns and in lockdown, not having to do anything because nobody was doing anything, and the freedom it felt not being a product. Like this kind of thing is like why you see like a lot of YouTube artists and creators burning out and stuff, because it gets to a point where mentally you can't do it anymore. Mentally, because we're human. We have flaws. Sometimes we don't want to upload stuff. I don't always want to sell me. And then I know me. How do I sell me? Who wants me? I mean, that's what I think. What do you think? Why don't you leave a comment? The way I do these are so corny. I don't like it. But anyway, if you want to, mention, say something or comment on this episode, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching.